Sunday's show presented to you by the Birdsall Lawfirm, the official injury lawyers of Pro Pels Talk. Pelicans also beat the Pistons 114-101. We're about to talk about it right now. Let's do it.
First took away. That's the best. Get your money's worth now.
Make sure you smash that like button. Presented to you by the Birdsall Lawfirm, the official injury lawyers of Pro Pels Talk, located 918 Poydras Street by the Superdome. Give them a call at 504-523-5413 if you're someone you know has been involved in an accident. The Birdsall Lawfirm, the official injury lawyers of Pro Pels Talk. Everybody here tonight in Studio 5, Lito and Ross, virtually Chris and Chaz 5, and everyone here. Appreciate y'all pulling up. So make sure you smash that like button. We'll get to comments, questions, all that stuff later in the show. 5, we'll start with you tonight. Zion Williamson, 13 and 14 from the field, 36 minutes, 10 and 14 from the free throw line, 36 points. And if I'm correct, I'm pretty sure I am, first time all year he played an entire first quarter, 12 straight minutes. Historic performance again from Zion Williamson tonight.
Newsflash: Zion Williamson is really fucking good at basketball. I guess we need. This is the third time this season he scored 36 points, which is a season high. Really wish when he's on a heater like this that he gets 20 shots. Can we see 25? Can we get that number up? I don't care if it's against Detroit. I don't give a shit against anybody. I need Zion to push himself to. Yeah, even if he misses, I know he has his like historic percentage, but if he misses it, who cares? Like, I need Zion to attempt to shoot because eventually it's going to come down to him making shots in the playoffs. So he needs to fail now rather than fail later.
What are your thoughts on 14 free throw attempts? So after, and we talked about this 5 after the game about being aggressive, getting the free throw line. He responds. He has 4 points. We talked about that, but now he responds with 36 points. 14 free throw attempts. That's the way he's got to play moving forward.
Yeah, you dominate lesser talent, and you really come out from the jump and dominate lesser talent. What did the Pistons end up with in the first quarter?
10 points.
10 points. Yeah, that's what you do. Offensively and defensively, you beat a team you're supposed to beat. Beat a team that's struggling. You go at their neck, and you finish. Pause. Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. Jesus Christ.
Ross, so back to more Zion Williamson. Do you still think, we were talking about this, they got up, and I'm going to hear Chaz and Chris' thoughts on this too. They got up 33, 34 3-point attempts tonight. But did you think Zion Williamson being this aggressive, what are your thoughts on the 3-point attempts over these last 2 games? And also when Zion's got it going, do the 3 points matter? Like, do those attempts really matter when he's, at will getting to the rim?
Yeah. So, the 3, I like to see the attempts, right? And it's not just that we're seeing an increase in attempts. It's the type of shots that we're taking, and the frequency. Like, they're wide. A lot of these are wide open looks. Obviously, Trey went over 0 of 9 tonight, but a lot of those were really clean looks. And some of those were, really good shots right on line. They just didn't go in. It wasn't like he was airballing or hitting back rim or anything like that. So I was cool with with most of the attempts. I think last game we got up 39 or 40. So no, love to see that. And then, on a night like tonight, when Zion has it going like that, that takes precedent over sort of anything else. The Pistons, that Pistons team they ran out there today is a bad team. They're a bad team, and they definitely did not have a matchup for Zion, like, whatsoever on that roster right now. So no, when he's cooking like that, you just get him the ball. There were a few other things. Look, Trey made some really nice passes in the first half. I thought there was a point where, JV had an early seal in a transition opportunity, gave it to him. We got an easy bucket. I think the very next possession, we come down and transition again, and he got Zion cutting for another easy bucket. So, no, I was fine with the looks tonight. Look, it wasn't like the most impressive game of all time, right? The Pistons suck. I think we kind of just did what we had to do today, and that was that.
Chris, I saw some comments about Trey Murphy. Speaking of Trey Murphy, I thought you had a really good tweet today. He goes 0 of 9. He clearly struggles. 1 of 12 from the field, 0 of 9 from deep. But you said that he affected the game in other ways. I want you to kind of talk about that, because AD and Joel are also talking about. I think it's important because I think Trey Murphy has gotten a lot better defensively. I think his rotation's been better. Multiple deflections today. I even think he had a block on a 3-point attempt. Kind of looked like Herb Jones almost. When he doesn't have it going offensively and he's doing that defensively, he's still impacting the game.
Before I do that, fire you my dog.
I want to thank the Lord
want to thank Coach Harbaugh. Fucking love you, man. Love the shit out of you, man.
Appreciate it.
First team foul. Nah, no problem. Trey Murphy. Man, to me, man, I think I think we've all matured past even worrying about what he does offensively night to night. I guess in this, you just don't want him to be timid and pass up good shots. If he goes, 1 for 10 or he goes 10 for 10, that really isn't my focus with him. I think because, he's a shooter. He's going to end most years as long as he plays and he's healthy the rest of his career. He should be somewhere around a 40% three-point shooter. He should be able to shoot close to 90% from the free throw line. He should, continue to be close to 50%, 45% from the field. Like that's who he is. But it's the other parts of the game for a dude that's his height, for a dude that, I know last show and previous shows you guys talked about small ball 5, but he's a guy, he's a power forward. You know what I mean? Like that's what he should be. Right. At the end of the day, not a small forward as some people thought, when he was drafted. He should project to be a 4 in this league and some dude and a guy that can play small ball 5 minutes eventually. But the other things, man, when you lead the team in blocks for the night with 4 blocks of the game, you tie with Jonas and Najee for the lead in rebounds with 8. Are you able to do other things and do them very well, affect the game in other ways when your first love isn't finding a way to be successful? You know what I mean? Like, he's going to have bad shooting nights, but if you're rebounding, if you're able to, to pass the basketball, if you're able to do things, maybe don't show up on the box score that aren't going to be the most glamorous things, that can help this team even more, because we know whether it be next game or the game after that, he's going to get right back and have a 20-point game, a 25-point game. Those things are kind of promises. I want to see the things as we get into a playoff scenario and against really good teams that go beyond that.
Did you want to say something, Lito? I couldn't understand. What were you saying?
Yeah. I wanted you had asked me when Brandon went out, like what could Trey do to step up to feel like to step in Brandon's shoes, and my response to that is he could rebound and play defense. Mm-hmm. Specifically, that's what I said. So if you get a game for him with 8 rebounds and 4 blocks, three out of his last 4 games has gotten 8 rebounds, 3 rebounds, 8 rebounds, 8 rebounds. And if you're counting at home, in those games where he got 8 rebounds, they won every single game. That's how you step up in these situations. The shot is not always going to fall, but like we were talking before the game, Ross said like they just rimmed out, like it wasn't a bad shot. But kudos to him for being able to do what the team needed in order to get the win.
Chaz, so before we got on the show, and you call this guy constant professional every single time he steps on the floor. CJ McCollum's last 5 games from 3-point line, he went 6 of 12, 50%, 4 of 8, 50%, 3 of 6, 50%, 6 of 12, 50%. Today, 5 of 9, 55%. Last 5 games, he's shooting over 52.5% from deep on 6.5 attempts.
That's incredible. He also chipped in 7 assists tonight. Shout out to him. 7 assists in a game where guys weren't necessarily lighting it up from beyond the arc. But I think CJ's been awesome, man. Again, just that know-how, the wherewithal. It isn't always there. It isn't always there. Sometimes, it's a little too much dribbling going on. But at the same time, I said it last game, CJ is a career, like, awesome. If there was a Hall of Fame for just guys who was like the second option on NBA teams, CJ would be like in Hall of Fame. Like that's his role on a lot of teams. Well, a lot of those Blazers teams that had positive regular season outcomes was as the second option. And I think it just provides a lot more clarity with what's going on the court, where it's just like, I know for sure I'm number 2 tonight. I know that the team's going to have to live with some of the things I'm doing. And he also had a really good game facilitating, as I mentioned before. And I'm looking at it, only 2 turnovers. That's a really good game for CJ. I appreciate him bouncing back out of his rut. Again, was he the oldest guy on the team? Well, no, Cody Zeller, the oldest person on the team. Cody Zeller, like the fucking Highlander.
All the time.
Yeah, Duncan McLeod of the Clon McLeod. But CJ the man, dog. I just hope we can see some of this consistency when we start to face some of those good teams, because we're going to need the best version of CJ and all of these guys.
Chaz, you bring up a good point, because a lot of people, Jarrett, when Brandon went down, we talked about the ball handling, who's going to kind of handle the pause, who's going to handle, who's going to be the, I guess, de facto one. Well, CJ McCollum in the month of March is only averaging 1.7 turnovers a game and averaging 4 assists.
I would have a little bit pushback because they're taking the ball out of his hands a little bit. Right?
Okay, that's fair.
Right, like it's not necessarily where he's dribbling the ball up, like he's handling all of the point guard-esque. I just think with guys being more aggressive with rebounds, right? Like he doesn't have to be the de facto point guard. Right. Like you see Zion get more rebounds. That means Zion's going to bring the ball up. He's not going to give it to anybody else.
Sorry, I just from X, man. I'm sorry.
I don't know. It's good. That's crazy. But with that, it's like, okay, cool. You do put CJ in his best predicament is off ball. So when he does have the ball, he doesn't feel the pressure of always having to get everybody involved. I thought what they did tonight was pretty good with him and Jonas, right? There was a play in particular where Jonas had post position. CJ gave him the rock. He gave it back to CJ when they tried to double. He gave it right back to Jonas quickly. Jonas spent off him, layup. Like that means that that's two guys understanding the moment, understanding the game. Like they don't have an answer for JV. Let's give the ball to JV. Let's give it back to him, regardless of even if I have an open shot. And CJ had the shot going. He could have easily pulled that, but he didn't. I think that just shows, the mental intellect of a basketball player.
Leo got a shout out from Wahab here that Leo, the shirt is hard. I mean,
appreciate you.
Yeah, give him credit, bro.
Thank you.
I give him credit. Ross, do you think now that CJ's, came off that rolled ankle, and we thought he'd be out multiple weeks. I mean, it was a bad sprain, and he struggled coming back. So what are your thoughts? Like, do you think he's back fully healthy now, or is that what he looks like heading into the playoffs?
Yeah, he looks fully healthy to me. I mean, I'm happy to see him play well, and I think Chaz alluded to it. I think this is 2 games in a row where he's 7 assists, 1 or 2 turnovers. Over half his shots have been 3-pointers. Obviously, he's knocking those down. A lot of them have been really, really good looks too. He seems like if you want to talk about players that might be beneficiaries of Brandon being out, whether that's either the type of shots they're going to get or the volume of shots they're going to get. Yeah. CJ seems to be early on, right? We're only 2 games into this. But a guy who seems to be maybe taking that step of, okay, hey, I'll take some more of these shots. I can take a little more volume. And
oh, you muted, Ross.
Disappearing. It's all bad.
Chris, can you hear me?
I can hear you, bro.
It's
just me and you, huh?
I guess so. Hey, in the chat, can y'all hear anything? Somebody say Rustin.
Can't hear y'all.
Justin looked like he's not even moving. Is Lito moving?
Nah,
they all froze.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
All right, we gotta leave and come back. Oh no, that might be the internet at the studio, huh?
Yeah, they at the studio. Lala, can you hear us? Oh shit. They said they can hear us. Yo, y'all hold up. We might have to restart this. We're gonna end the stream. We'll try to come back. Oh fuck! How the fuck they did? Damn.
Well, can they just rejoin?
I think they can. Wait, I'm looking at Justin camera in the studio, so it looked like he got up. So they might have been doing something. But what were we talking about? We can hold it down until they come.
All right. I mean, I think what the fuck was we at here? Because he was talking about CJ. Yeah, and I think Ross was going into about some of the folks that could benefit from Brandon's absence. Of course, CJ was one of those individuals, and right on time, first game needed, Miami, for example, he steps up, right? And then we see him again today. Zion kind of started off as it was just Zion and nobody else at one particular point. Right. CJ ended up ending the game with 23 points. And I think, like you said in your last point when you were speaking, you just need to see it against good teams. And I know we're going to talk as the show ends, if they ever get back in here, about the schedule later on. But I want to ask you this, Chad. What specifically? What do you think is the difference? Not even without Brandon, but let's say either without Zion or Brandon. What do you think is the difference in CJ McCollum when everyone's there versus when one of them are missing for whatever reason?
I really think it's a clear hierarchy, and just knowing what's being asked of you going into that night, right? Typically with CJ, CJ spent his career as an incredible mid-range guy, guy who knows how to get into the teeth of the defense. Whereas when Brandon and Zion are healthy, he's more of a catch and shoot guy, can get into the teeth of the defense and shoot that floater, but now you just see, I think you see more of a sense of urgency. You see more of a sense of freedom, because Zion is not like demonstrative. He's not gonna, he's not like, yo, CJ, you tripping. Give me the ball.
Yeah. What the fuck you doing?
Yeah, CJ, you buck. But so CJ, he started dancing a little bit, and he did that a couple times tonight. And for me, I think I'm comfortable with someone like that getting into their groove. As far as again, he was in a bit of a rut. He's a guy who's something we may not give CJ enough credit for, man. He's a person that's had to adjust more than anyone on this team. Like CJ, from the moment he got here, he's had to adjust. He's been the best player on the floor. He's been the second best, third best, or whatever. And it's just a testament to his professionalism throughout his career. And CJ, a confident dude, man. I say this all the time. I don't know if CJ necessarily believe that he's the third best player on the team. So when it's his time to shine, sometimes he might be like, yo, y'all must have forgot. Yeah, y'all must have forgot what's happening here. So look like everybody back. Lito not frozen. Chung. Say CJ adopted Pelicans.
I'm gonna build
Lito.
What's that?
And this question for you and Five, I wanted to ask. I asked Chaz already. Damn. Any of y'all hear that background or just me?
Yeah.
I hear
it. Y'all got a echo.
Okay. Justin. No, but to y'all, what's the biggest difference in the CJ that you see when either Zion or Brandon is out versus when everyone's together? Like, what do you think the difference is for him coming into games? All right, we got to mute Justin. Hold on.
Yeah. Justin spilled some bourbon on the speakers.
Fucking box, man. I mean, that is crazy.
That was crazy.
Sorry, Chris. Go ahead, man. Sorry.
That was a hell of a.
I want to thank the Lord. I want to thank Coach Harbaugh. Fucking love you, man. Love the shit out of you, man. This is for you.
I gotta go fix Ross's internet, so give me a second. Go ahead.
Second team foul. 5. Lito, go ahead.
You answer?
Now you go ahead, doggy.
He said, "I'll follow that up, huh?"
Five said that.
No, sir.
No positive. I think it's they haven't had much time on the floor together still, so it's still a process of trying to figure out where to be, how to play, and in the situations where one of them is missing, it's kind of like, oh well, shit, my light green. I don't really have to worry about how to figure out how to get him involved or anybody else involved. I could literally just do what I've done my whole career. And I mean, what he's done 10 plus years of scoring 20. So it's not hard for him to figure that part of it out. And I think, unfortunately, the only thing that will give them that confidence on the floor or that understanding of how to play with each other is just time, and that's just what they haven't had.
I don't know where we're at. I'm sorry.
I'm talking about CJ.
About CJ, yeah. So we were going to talk about Chris. I wanted to bring this up. This last thing we're talking about the Pistons game, but I wanted to bring this one up. Pump fake, flies by, does a 180, and still blocks a shot. He's got to be first team All NBA, and it's not even like a debate anymore.
What do you got to hold up? What do you got to be?
Defensive player of the year.
Come on,
like
are we starting to like Is it starting to become that? Is it starting to become defensive player of the year?
I
at
mean,
this point?
what else does he have to do? And to be honest, if he doesn't win this year, I don't think he'll ever win it because I think it'd be damn near impossible.
Victor.
Like why did Herb have to go through the loops and bounds and earn it, and then Victor just to appear, and his team only wins 15-esque games and wins defensive player. I get it, dude's a monster on the defensive end and offensively, but nah, bro, why you can't earn it? Herb had to.
Right.
So I think there's a clear cut, like he's the only defender on this team in particular, six rated defense year after year. He should be the reason why. I think that's.
And it's funny, Chris, because this happened in Miami on Friday night.
14, 6 of his 14 at the free throw line. How about this job? That's great. Stay down. Right. That's
so quick.
So he does that, and then it goes like this.
That's crazy.
Man, it take a certain level, like a different level of patience, to not go for up fakes. Like there's like if there's like an up fake Hall of Fame, it's like Kobe, Mike, D Wade, Melo,
Jimmy,
like Jimmy right there. It's like you see really good defenders all the time go for the up fake.
DeMar,
and like DeMar's another one, and like for him to give Jimmy space, have Jimmy drive, not go for first up fake, reverse pivot, no up fake, then block the shot, bro. Like we talking like wherever he finishes, whether it's defensive player of the year or we talking all team. Like I mean, we talking first team. Like that's going to be on the highlight reel because it's difficult to do, bro. Like he gets everybody with those up fakes. So that's one of the things. And I mean the block, that's just Herb just doing incredible shit. He even talking to the crowd afterwards. And I think the cool thing that maybe we're starting to see is that his reputation around the league is getting bigger and larger. Like people are starting to treat him like they would certain rim protectors. So like a Herb Jones closeout might be treated the same way as trying to contest the rim and Victor's there or Rudy Gobert is there. Like that has to eventually be on the scouting report. Like you see this guy closing out, be aware for it because it's no telling exactly what you're gonna get. You don't know if he's gonna chop his feet. You don't know if he's gonna set you up for something. You don't know if he's gonna block the shot. Like Herb's incredible, man. And I think something else that's impressive to me, a lot of guys that are wings, I mean, you see it with a lot of undersized guys, but there's typically like antics that go along with being that. Like you got to be like, the irritant. You got to do, you see dudes like Dylan Brooks, you see dudes like Marcus Smart that got to, maybe they make plays that you might, you might consider dirty on the floor. Herb don't do none of that. He don't talk shit. He don't be, he's not Draymond. He's not an antagonist. He's just really good. He's doing it like the clean way, the right way. And he's getting the credit that I think, he deserves. And game after game, you're going to see him. But he had like 4-3 steals tonight. Game after game, he just continues to add to the resume, man. So, that's dope.
Gotta give him credit.
Hey,
Lito, we talked about this on. We all did a show, Reeves versus Herb Jones. You remember that show we did?
Come on.
Yeah,
I've been telling you to talk about this.
Yeah, I remember.
No, go ahead.
Do you think right now, today, who would you take, Herb Jones or Austin Reeves?
I was taking Herb Jones then. I was taking Herb Jones when he was shooting.
Well, you were. It was questionable. It was 50-50.
Guy here, man.
I said Herb
guy.
Jones.
I mean, I definitely said Herb. You would take Herb over Austin.
You saying I took Austin Reeves?
Go watch the show again. I'm giving. It's okay.
You're not giving me credit.
What does he say? I'm not trying to be disrespectful. What does he always go with? No disrespect. No disrespect. Go ahead.
But it's okay. I'm absolutely taking Herb. I don't remember what Austin is shooting right now, but I think
36%.
Yeah.
I looked at the stats last night. Well, he texted me.
Is he like ESPN now?
I just had it prepared.
It's crazy how his memory works. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Boy, good.
Oh boy,
it's not even a conversation now. But I do want to go back to the Herb Jones for Defensive Player of the Year thing because like he's not even in the conversation, right? Like, and I'm not. I'm just saying if you just look at the odds, right? Like he's
top 6.
He's not even in the conversation. He's not even in the ballpark. Like the odds makers aren't even giving him odds. That's how far back in that conversation. Like I guess what do y'all attribute that to? Because there's a difference, I guess, to me in him not being in like the top, right? Because Gobert seems like he's kind of running away with it for whatever reason, and then Wembanyama's kind of in the conversation a little bit, but not really. And then there's a handful of other guys. Like, what do y'all attribute him not even being in that like second or third tier of the player of the year conversation to?
I think it's kind of twofold, right? Like Rudy's on a good team, a good defensive team with other defensive players,
right?
With Ant and Jaden McDaniels that are really good defensively. So it's easier for him to, block shots when there's really good defense out there.
Right.
But you look at Herb, like he's the only guy. Like he doesn't have somebody. Like he's locking up his guy and saving his teammates. Like when are we gonna look at it? It should be the most valuable defensive player. Because if you take Rudy off of Minnesota, I think they're still a good defensive team. They may not be like number one, but they'll still be a top 10 defensive team, in my opinion.
So is it? But and I look, I totally agree with you. I guess, but to the question of like, then why isn't he even being considered in that second group, right? Like, before you answer, Leader, because there's guys like Derek White in that group who hasn't won anything. He's on a really good team, but like, is Derek White a better defender than Drew Holiday? I don't know.
Go ahead, Chris.
Well, I mean, I'm about to be real quick with my answer. It's a centers award. I mean, to be honest, like it's a power forward and centers. Traditionally, if you go through the numbers, like if you go through the history, more times than not, centers, power forwards, they're the ones that win the award. Now, that's not saying that that's the way that it should be or that's right, but that's typically where the bias goes. You know what I'm saying? Big man. I mean, outside of, like you tell me, outside of Marcus Smart and Kawhi, how many guys you can think of, how many non-centers or power forwards win the award. There's just simply not many. So I think that's the part people got to retool their thinking when it comes to the award and what they look at as, important. It's not just steals and blocks like five, five state goes beyond that.
I agree with that. I'm gonna let you get to your point. I agree with that because I think we had this conversation before. People value rim protection more than they do not necessarily perimeter defense, but like Herb doesn't just play perimeter defense. He's literally the engine for the whole thing. He's the automobile for it. It does not run without him. He's the conduit. He's an outlet. Any defense that is displayed is an extension of him. Like you don't have anybody on this team with a foundation of defense. Well, I mean Dyson, of course, but like anybody in that starting lineup, there's no foundation. Like nobody can operate on their own and this be a top 10 defense if Herb is missing. I do agree with Chris and Five. I think that traditionally it is a center's award. I'm hoping that Marcus Smart broke the barrier when he won. I hope that they look at the game from a holistic standpoint now, where you see deflections on the perimeter, you see guarding multiple people. Shit, it was a play the other night in Miami. I think Herb guarded like 4 people.
I got it. Well, I was literally about to upload in the room, but
he guarded 4 people in one possession. Like I don't know.
To that point, think about this. The NBA has moved to a more perimeter game. Shout out to Steph Curry, right? And we're still rewarding the big man from guarding the lane when the game is mostly played from the 3-point line. Like we need to switch up how we view defense because they're not me. Although Zach E's coming out of the draft, who's like really saying, all right, we need that guy on our team because he's going to be the anchor of our defense. No, they're going after switchable guys, which Zach Edey can't do. He's not going to be on a 1. That's why Draymond's so valuable, right? Because he can guard 1 through 5. Herb Jones can literally guard 1 through 4. Depending on the 5, he could guard that too.
But you've seen him guard 5s.
Yes.
You've seen him do it.
Yes, but we need to switch up how we think about the value of defense and who's at the top of the list. And from my standpoint, it's Herb Jones.
What makes me nervous is we keep talking about the defense player of the year thing, or even just first team all defense. And while he obviously, in my opinion, should get it, I'm just nervous because when you look at the external stuff, right? I mean, the people in Vegas generally have a good pulse of what's going on. And the fact that he's not being considered anywhere close to that first tier makes me nervous that he's going to get gypped again. And so I think it would be unjust, but
so this is the play I was talking about. Do you realize that he's in help? Then this doesn't show up on box scores, highlights, anything. He's in help. Zion blows the recovery. It's supposed to be an X. He blows it. Pause. So then Herb stops drive, and Mikal can't even get the
Can't even get a shot off.
Like that's the shit that and Five, you look this up about the guys, the people that vote. They ain't watching Pelicans Nets on a Tuesday and seeing that. No. And that's the problem with people that are voting. They watch the Celtics because they're always on ESPN. Or go ahead.
And look, to Ross's point, you mentioned Derek White. Derek White got voted in over him last year.
Yeah, he did. And we talked about that too.
And you can't tell me Derek White played better defense than Herb Jones did last year. You can't tell me this year. Actually, let's just be real disrespectful with it. You could never tell me Derek White will ever play better defense than Herb Jones. It will never happen.
So then what needs to change, Shaz, in order to get Herb Jones on these lists? You gotta play on national television in order to get there?
I think that, and like there's something I'm putting in the group chat. There's something I noticed the other day on NBA ESPN's YouTube channel, and look, I've said this time and time again. No one cares about the Pelicans. That's just the bottom line. The Pelicans are still viewed as like a cute story nationally. It's so condescending, like how they frame some of these conversations. Like, oh, they got a nice little team down there, and that's a sneaky good team. They say like patronizing things like that. And when you take that into consideration, I think a lot of people tend to watch the Pelicans with unfocused eyes, for better or worse. You know what I'm saying? Whereas it might hurt a person like Herb if you're not focusing on how good he's being this year, but it might help other players because you're unfocused. You're just looking at the numbers and things of that nature. But I think that's basically what it is. I think for a person like Derek White, I think you even added to his lore this season, because I mean, this motherfucker, I forgot what game it was. This dude is like 6'2", and he's blocking shots like crazy. Like he's having a crazy year.
Averages like a block game.
And even for as good as Drew Holiday is, I think Drew Holiday's reputation kind of precedes him a bit. So and he's had a playoff series where he's pretty much shut Dame down. So I think you're waiting to see that for Herb, and I think once that happens for Herb Jones on a national level, it has to be in the playoffs. Though I think you'll see his legend begin to grow, because right now, I mean, you hear about how good he is, but it's from a bunch of people. It's people who still call the Pelicans the Pellies. Like, oh, the Pellies down. Like,
it's
no one.
So funny. Jessica literally just said this. I hate when they say the Pellies.
Yeah. Oh shit. Shout out to Jessica. Like, yo, hey, we here. But that's like if you call like the Pelicans the Pellies, I know you're not from here. I know you don't watch the Pelicans. No. It's like when Larry Nance called Trey Murphy Murph. I'm like, no one calls it that. You gave a motherfucker with a nickname, another nickname, Murph. I'm like, come on. Like, what is this? Charles Bronson movie? Like, get out of here with that shit. So, yeah, I think it's just you don't have enough focused eyes on the Pelicans brand right now.
That's fair. Do you want to go back to the Reeves? Or you want to say something?
You said I went with Reeves. So I mean, I don't know what you didn't give me credit. So I want to say look, I think me and Chris did a show about this. And to what Chaz just said, in order to get recognition, you gotta have deep playoff runs, and you gotta be on TV a lot. So the reason that Herb hasn't gotten his credit is 1-14. It's Brandon and Zion. They're the reason that he has not gotten his credit.
Well, what's up, Thomas?
What's up, Thomas?
You said that in summer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of agree. I think Herb needs to at least start getting those rankings of defensive player of the year.
Look, I think he needs to create a character, and I know it's against his personality, But I think, one of the better things that Herb could do, during this run that he's on, and I mean, if it means anything, the team has a whole campaign behind them, right now, the team, and you see a lot of things that social media is doing, but I think he needs to create a character. I don't know how you end up doing that. I don't know if he can, I'm sure he can find a sponsor that, to put together a cool commercial, but I think that something like that's going to be huge for him, because a late season playoff run isn't promised. It isn't guaranteed, but whatever he can do, I understand, what happens on the game, what happens in the game between the lines, Herb going to play it down the middle more times than not. He's just, it's not in his spirit to have to be extra like a Dylan Brooks or like some of these other guys. And he doesn't have the attention that even like a Marcus Smart had coming out of high school and college. Right. But, I think if I were him, man, if I was his agent, we be crafting up commercials trying to put together some kind of character. I don't know who it is, what it is. Man, connect with State Farm, connect with Gatorade, Sprite. Come together with some type of commercial, man. Because unfortunately, a lot of this shit is about politics, man. And the average fan, they may not know. They may have heard of Herb Jones, but they don't know who he is. When they hear the Pelicans, just say,
Crystal Hot Sauce. Your Crystal Hot Sauce not on Herb. There you go.
To Chris's point, like I think it's on the organization, right? You saw what Naz Reid got with
how cool was that,
right? But like Pelicans, just don't try to steal what they did and try to create it your own. You should have been doing that. Like, I know there was an idea of like having locks, like that should have been happening. If this actually works for the Pelicans organization for branding purposes, like you want a guy like that to win, like first team all defense, like you want that to happen. So if you yourself have to reach out to organizations or companies that are in local areas. Remember when Chris Bosh wanted to get in the All-Star game? He did that stupid ass commercial. Like, although that was stupid, it worked. Although it like went mini viral in some states. Like dog, you gotta do that. I'm pretty sure Chris Bosh wasn't like going to fucking local car dealerships to try to pull this off. Like, no, like somebody maybe in an organization or his PR team, like it has to be something with branding. They have to do a better job of that, like of getting Herb Jones in the spotlight. Like if you want that to happen. Yeah.
It's so many like ideas that could be thrown out there, like a locksmith or something.
I mean, Herb, like literally like Herb, like you think of like there's a lot of like
the Urban Import Company. You trying to get him? What you trying to do?
I'm just saying
what's happening.
But do you honestly think, and yes, that does help, but how does the Pelicans organization, like they came up with a campaign like the Not on Herb with the Lock, I thought was cool, but does that get national recognition?
Let me tell you what the problem. Well, let me tell you what the problem is. What's my guy name in he plays for the Angels.
Shohei?
No.
Mike Trout.
Yeah. You have probably the best player in baseball, right? And baseball don't market him.
Oh yeah, because he was too much.
He just a by the book guy.
No.
Well, yeah.
That's crazy. That's great.
But I think that's what you get with Herb, though. I don't know if Herb would necessarily even go for it.
Yeah, you got to make him.
But like, what if he doesn't want to, Chris? Like, what if he really doesn't want to?
I mean, but look, some of this. I mean, he ain't gonna say no to money. Like, I mean, we know where he come from. Like, I figure out he throw him a bag. You know what happened? If a condom company call it.
Wait, hold up.
You kind of
FBI agent was like,
you cut out.
Yeah, if a condom company calling tomorrow, I mean the money
that would be hilarious and
Herb Jones condoms.
I'm pausing that. Yeah. Not on Herb condom. I'm pausing.
Oh, that is crazy.
Okay, let's
Ray said, "Whoa!"
Company Burger is the official burger of Pro Pels Talk and Boot Crew Media. Located at 4600 Birdsall Street, Company Burger has been locally owned and operated for 11 years. Grind the meat, bake the buns, make the mayo, get the homemade tots. Company Burger uses Creekstone Farms prime beef to create the best burger in the city with milkshakes to go and a full bar. Company Burger is open every day besides Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Can't make it out? No worries, we have you covered. You can order online right now at thecompanyburger.com or check them out on the Toast or Uber Eats app. Company Burger, the official burger of Boot Crew Media.
Make the mayo's crazy.
After a condom reference.
After a condom reference, he goes to make the mayo.
Presented by Company Burger, located 4600 Ferret Street. Appreciate it. All right, let's talk about the road trip, Ross. So the Pelicans have won 5 out of 6. They go 3-1 on this road trip. So beat Brooklyn, lose in Orlando, beat Miami, beat Detroit. So now coming home, you got OKC, you got Milwaukee, you got Boston, Phoenix, Orlando, and then you got the Spurs. What do they have to go here on this homestand in order to stay at the 5 seed?
Oh, I'm not real worried about. I really am not like overly worried about that.
You're not worried about the 5 seed?
No, I am worried about the 5 seed. I'm not worried that we're gonna like play so poorly that we would play ourselves out of the 5 seed. But to answer your question, that's what, 5 games?
6 technically with the Spurs at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll play better against the Magic at home. The Suns always kind of, I don't know, something about that matchup. But we play well against OKC. I mean, I think at worst we'll go 500 on the homestand. I mean, at worst, you got a freebie against the Spurs. I think the team will be highly incentivized to kind of, just for personal reasons, play better against the Magic than they did previously. So there's 2 right there. Again, OKC, we've kind of, they don't have a great matchup for Zion. And look, I like the way we've played these last couple games. I think 4-2 is the Celtics. I don't love that matchup.
They've been sitting players out though.
They have, and I think they're like 10 games up in the East. I think like a crazy amount. They may have even already clinched like the 1 seed. I guess they probably hadn't clinched the 1 seed.
I mean, it's really close.
They're so far up though. They're like the 1 seed is, and so they're like I don't know what their schedule looks like, but Porzingis isn't playing back to backs. I don't even know if he's playing like a day.
And Drew just got hurt. Drew got some kind of shoulder.
Drew's missed,
hurt.
I think Drew's missed 4 or 5 in a row.
Man.
So yeah, they're like, I think they had a game earlier this week where they sat everybody. I think they sat Tatum and I think the only guy that played was Derek White, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so you never know what you're going to get. They may give you a freebie. I don't know what their schedule looks like. So
that's what I'm looking at. They got Boston goes to so we play OKC at home on Tuesday, and then we get Milwaukee on Thursday, Boston on Saturday, but Boston does not play on that Friday.
Yeah, so you never know. And I mean, look, Milwaukee I don't think Giannis is back yet. I think a lot of those.
I think he returned tonight.
Did
I'm pretty
he?
sure he returned
Giannis,
tonight.
he did. He played.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, is he going to play back to backs? I mean, are they going to be resting him? Is he back to full strength? And look, those are games like I don't think Milwaukee is that great this year. Like
They're definitely beatable.
Yeah, like those games are winnable. I mean, Boston fully healthy, not a great matchup. Just because the way they want to play, how consistent they are, the type of defenders they have, but all these other games, like none of these teams really scare me that much at home.
Besides Boston, full of strength. Go ahead, Bob.
I actually would like to see them against Boston fully like healthy. Yeah. To be honest, it gives you another opportunity. Like they beat the shit out of you.
Yeah,
like
true.
The Pelicans have been really good at responding when they've played terribly, and especially against another team like that. Like that's a NBA Finals caliber team. Like you want to try to play them at full strength to gauge yourself, right? Like and how you respond, because that's kind of how it's gonna go. I think when we talked about like the playoffs last year, like you saw blowouts and then you saw another blowout like the opposite way. Like that's how the shit goes. And like what adjustments can you make? I think that game is for Willie Green, to be honest, and the coaching staff. Like what can you do to adjust to, Boston shooting a lot of threes, or forcing you, to space out, and then they're going to deny Zion from getting to the rim.
Yep.
Like, what are you going to do? So,
Leo, go ahead.
I got a question though. We talked about Zion catching passes at the free throw line.
Yeah, man.
How many times? What did that happen tonight? I didn't see the game, so I don't.
It happened enough, right?
Okay.
Like it happened enough. Like
when they needed a bucket too.
Yeah. Like critical times. Like, but that was also with space too. Like it wasn't just Zion just catching at the free throw line. Usually, like you'll still see if he caught it at the free throw line against a team like Boston, you're still gonna see like 4 or 5 people, but you have to space the floor. And for Boston, right, like they look at it, if you're not shooting 40%, like we don't care. Like we don't care what you do. So that is what I want to see. I want to see Zion in the middle of the floor against really good teams. And I think maybe you may not see Zion scoring like 38 or 36, but you'll see, the volume or the gravity that he'll attract.
So you saw him against a good team so far in Miami where he got stifled and he didn't shoot over 7 shots, I believe. I look forward to seeing him play against Boston, and I hope he takes that personally because they have the footage, they got the files, they saw what they did to him, so they're gonna load up, they're gonna make life uncomfortable for him, and I hope he got, like Ross was saying, we need to go shoot 25 shots. Like I want to see him be selfish to a certain extent.
I think the biggest matchup to me is OKC because there's a possibility, right, where if the chips may fall right, you win your first round series, you're getting OKC in the second round, and I'm interested to see. Chaz, like, what is it going to look like when OKC versus the Pelicans? You would think they match up well. Like, what are your thoughts on that matchup on Tuesday night with OKC coming in to New Orleans with Trey in the starting lineup, and the way they've been playing over the last couple nights?
I think you give yourself a better opportunity to win because of pace with this particular lineup, like with pace and space. But I think OKC just has so much IQ, especially with a guy like Shea, who just great at manipulating how the game's officiated and getting to the line. I don't know. I think that's going to be a situation whereas I feel like if the Pelicans win the turnover battle and win the rebounding battle, I think they can win that game. They just have to give themselves as many opportunities to score as possible, given the way Shea knows how to play. Shea going to get to the line. Mm-hmm. Like that's just a guarantee. And I think that's one of those games where Zion you just got to take Chet out the game. You got to impose your will, take Chet out the game, play through JV. They can do themselves. That's an inside out game for the Pelicans.
Don't make. I was gonna say don't make us laugh, but you already did.
Yeah. I mean, they can do themselves a lot. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask Chris that. I was like, Chris, like, what are your matchups here, right, with OKC? Because Chet presents an interesting, like, how would you start in 5? How are you matching up?
I'm gonna match up with the star lineup that's going out there, but we saw the last time that they played New Orleans, it was the perfect, like that's the book on how this game is gonna go. It got to a point to where, because if I remember correctly, I don't think Gilchrist Alexander had that great of a start to the game. And typically he doesn't against the Pelicans. Like they do a pretty good job against him, but it was the others and it was Chet. They didn't have a matchup for him. And the first couple times that Jonas had to rotate over to a corner or Chet just dribbled the basketball past him and got to the lane or had him in a one-on-one set, which he's supposed to do. Like Jonas ain't made to guard anybody like Chet in space necessarily. You know what I'm saying? But the first time that happened, Larry Nance came out there and played, and Larry didn't have anything for Chet. It is what it is. So, I don't even like answering what I would do. I would go with the starting lineup, and like I think the Pelicans, man, I think that they need to be worried more so about how they can dictate games and what they can do to make teams adjust versus what other teams are doing. Like run your race, do what and accept your weaknesses for what they are. Know what you're going to give up. They played, and to me, the best illustration of that was that last Clippers game in LA, to where for the first time in a while in the matchup, I saw Ty Lue just throw his hands up. Like, I don't know. He's trying shit that, he typically wouldn't do in his rotation. It just was what it was because the Pelicans stuck to something and they made them adjust. And even without BI, they have advantage creators in some areas that they would do themselves some justice if they just say, all right, this what we going with. This what we going with, and y'all just going to have to adjust to it versus Chet takes advantage of Jonas in a couple one-on-ones, and then we say, all right, well, Jonas, you done. You played 7 minutes tonight. You had 10 rebounds. We're taking you out. Larry in the rest of the game.
Yeah, and just real quick, to your point, Chris, last game against the Thunder, we scored 83 points. And on like 38% shooting. And, I mean, granted, Zion didn't play, but it was just a pitiful offensive performance.
Did you want to say? I was going to ask 5, but go ahead, Lito.
I feel like Chris's point is what I want to elaborate on. We don't even get a chance to see if it will work or it won't work. You in prevent mode the second it happens. One play and it's over. You don't even give Jonas a chance. Jonas is a smart guy, bro. You don't give him a chance to even figure it out. Maybe he bites on the shot one time, and then maybe the what?
Because it's so funny you said that. Bam got JV on a pump fake and ended in a foul. The next possession, Bam made the same move. JV cut him off and forced a turnover against Miami.
Dog, you know how much basketball Jonas has seen and played? You think that, like, no disrespect to Chet Holmgren, because I think Chet nice, but I'm saying you don't think he's seen better players than Chet Holmgren or played against them or had to figure it out. I mean, he playing against Jokic 4 times a year. Like, I feel like he could probably, Chet go beat him off the dribble, but at the same time, when we talk about matchups and advantages, Chet can't guard him either.
No,
that we know that Chet can't guard him. And you know what? They went to Jonas the first play of the game, the last time they played, and Jonas fucking missed. Okay, but yet that was the last time we fucking saw it. Like, bro, like, okay, he
also missed. Don't you want to be physical with Chet? Don't you want to make him guard? Don't you want to, like,
a bunny?
Like, dog, if you gave him the ball again, I'm pretty sure he would have made the next one and the next one, or Chet's gonna fucking foul. Like, bro, you can't.
That's
just
the thing.
You waver. Like, Willie Green and the coaching staff, they waver so quickly. Like, you're so quick to adjust to, like, you're over adjusting at that point. Yep. Like you're still good. Like, it's still the first quarter. He's still, like, this game, even if the Thunder got up, I mean, I'm not gonna say 20 points. Say if they got up 10, you're not out of the game. Like, easily. You
even 20, you're not.
What?
We don't shoot enough threes.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. I was gonna ask you. So there are gonna be moments on Jared. I was gonna present this question. There are gonna be moments where we play small against OKC, but Chet may be on the floor. Who's a guy?
It's got to be Trey. It's got to be Trey.
Explain.
Because
that's what I said too.
Because offensively, you got to be able to stretch the floor.
But that means Larry's on the floor. I think Chet would then go to Larry defensively.
Is he on it?
In this,
is he
like in a small ball? Well, Brandon out. Yeah.
All right, Brandon's out. Yeah. Okay.
But back to, I still don't think Larry can guard.
No, I'm not talking about you. Talking about this like next game. I'm thinking like playoff.
Whatever. Next, I'm treating tomorrow or Tuesday like a playoff game. I think why wouldn't you?
He's so crazy.
Wait.
I said you so crazy.
To you think I'm crazy for wanting to treat that like a playoff game?
Yeah.
Okay. Like I think you're being sarcastic.
You said that so calmly. He's so crazy.
He's so crazy. Because I don't think it's gonna get that. Like, I don't. Yeah, it's a good preview, but I don't know. It's really almost like the fan. We'll hopefully at the end of the show we can talk about the fans a little bit, because I got a gripe a little bit, but I don't know if the fans understand like the moment at times, like in the game. Like, we've all been in like contested atmospheres where it's almost like they're waiting on something to happen for them to stand, and
but you gotta,
you almost gotta force it. But
also goes back to the PA system. Like, there's also like not enough music like to get you kind of going, anyways. Like, pause, right? Was that?
It's on the line, but it's okay. We was going.
Chris, you think Trey could guard Chet?
No,
I don't either.
I mean, but that's like the Chet's gonna be huh? All right. If Chet isn't, I'm not saying he's gonna be as good as Embiid, but Chet's one of those dudes. He's one of those dudes that nobody's gonna be able to guard. Like you tell me how many players you think in the league can guard Chet. There were periods where, and they tried to put Herb on Chet, it didn't work. And that's just. He's one of those individuals that's that skilled. It's nothing you could do.
No.
Daniels. Sorry, my bad, Chris.
Yeah. So no, I mean, he can't. Trey can't guard him. He might be your best option, but you can't be focused on the fact of who you have that can guard him. I don't think anyone can. There's no one on the roster that can guard him. But if Chet Holmgren is the reason that you lose the game alone, then, I mean, it kind of like, what are you sacrificing here? Like, and good teams make you sacrifice at some point. Is it going to be Jalen Williams? Are you sacrificing because you're going all out to stop SGA? That's the goal. As soon as the ball is is in the air, the goal is to stop and stifle SGA. So what are you giving up? It might be Jalen Williams. It might be Chet. You got to pick something. You know what I'm saying?
To that point, like, do you win a game if Chet scores 30 rather than Shea go and Shea only have like 15?
No.
Like, you don't lose that game.
No.
Not in my opinion, because Shea does so much for them. Like, he drives the engine so much. He gets to the line, like, he's scoring, he's getting people involved. Like, everything is off of Shea. Like, even Chet scoring is off of Shea's gravity. So I think you still win a game if you allow Chet to kind of, okay, cool.
Go ahead, Lena.
I wanted to make that point. I totally feel like, and that was the point that I was saying when Willie Green gets in prevent mode before anything actually happens. So Chet gets 40. Okay. And you know what I'm saying? Like, okay. Like, he get 40, they go lose. I'm cool with that. As long as the ball not in that man hand. Cause you know with him, his 40 gonna include 16 free throw attempts. It's gonna be something crazy. And that's not like what you want. I'd rather lose by Chet, because Chet gonna have a mixture of, he's gonna shoot a lot of twos. You know what I'm saying? And I can live with that. I don't want to see like Shea is like death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah.
Chaz, do you
Positive applicable.
Do you worry about, because sometimes Herb will get in foul trouble early in games and you see it just go down. Does this, like, when Herb has SGA's assignment, does that worry you a little bit about foul trouble? Or do you think this like new rule being implemented will help out Herb Jones, like when guarding someone like SGA, who's really crafty at getting fouls, getting the free throw line, that kind of stuff?
Nah, I mean, not really. I don't worry about it, because the thing with SGA is he actually gets fouled. He's really good at just initiating the contact. So I think OKC is a team you beat with offense. If I was the Pelicans, my game plan would be to throw everything offensively at them possible. Play Matt Ryan, play Jordan Hawkins, see who really has the, like, just leave. You want to leave this game with no ammunition. Like, you know what I'm saying? You want to be like, well, shit, we did everything we could. And, even with the first game, when you won at the top of the season, Shea gets hurt. Then you kind of see the offense come alive a bit. CJ had an incredible game. Zion, he had a rough game, but he finished the game out. JV finished the game out. I think you play through your advantage creators, play inside out basketball, try to get up as many threes as possible, because the counter to an SGA getting to the line is to make threes, because that's how he's getting his free points. That's how he's creating an advantage for them. Just like the counter to Chet is to get Chet in foul trouble. I'm not worried about what Chet gonna do, because my plan would be to just get Chet off the floor. Chet can't, he can't really guard JV or Zion. So my first few possessions would be, all right, I'm just gonna go straight at Chet and I'm gonna get him off the floor, and then we're gonna play from there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna play through my advanced creators and just go from there. I think this is a very winnable game, just because the Pelicans traditionally, they play well against teams that are that don't have a ton of I hate to say this, size, pause, and they play against slow footed. Yeah, so like OKC, they kind of slow. They're not a very strong physically team. So I definitely think if they play inside out basketball and they leave their ammunition, leave everything they got, in the arena, I definitely think it's a winnable game.
Yeah. Ross, go ahead.
I'm laughing because there's like no other way for Chaz to say that.
But you know what? Then fine. Then, we got.
I want to thank the Lord. I want to thank Coach Harbaugh.
On this show, there's accountability. Physical. There's accountability. Chaz, that's your first of the year, right there. It's accountability. Go ahead.
Oh no, I've had some pauses. The
funny thing is, look, Chaz is right. I think OKC is a team you beat with by being more physical than they are. If you look at game, I would play JV more.
Yeah,
we never played him in the next game because the fact, go look at games where Chet Holmgren gets 10 rebounds. They're like 19-5 or something. Why? The same reason we want Zion Williamson to get a bunch of rebounds, because Chet Holmgren is capable of pushing the ball up the floor. That creates odd situations for the other team's defense, because you have the other team's 5 being able to sort of initiate the offense. It gets everything going. I want to get as many defensive rebounds as possible. I want to be as physical as possible. I want to get Zion Williamson at the foul line as much as possible. I want to get JV at the foul line as much as possible. And so will we do that? I don't know, based on like what we've been doing for the last month. But if I was coaching and I wanted to create mismatches for our team against OKC, I would leave Valanciunas on the floor as much as we can.
I just, it's like they treat like Larry Nance isn't Bobby Portis. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not, he doesn't have that level of skill to where, and Larry, my guy, but that's the truth. Like he doesn't have that level of impact on the game in different ways to where you'd be like, all right, we just, we can throw him into any situation when we get in trouble and things change. That's just that's the truth. Like even in a blowout tonight, Milwaukee played OKC and Brook Lopez played 23 minutes. Now we know Brook is, he's a better overall defender than Jonas, but like Milwaukee wasn't gonna panic and say, all right, well, we're just not gonna play him. We're not gonna play Brook. Imagine if Milwaukee just say, you know what, we're just not gonna play Brook. We're gonna play in 15 minutes. Right. Like you gotta, and especially without Brandon, it's insane to me. How many offensive advantage creators do you think this team has? Seriously, especially against good teams that are going to sell out to stop Zion regardless. How many other offensive advantages do you think the team has? They don't. And you fighting with one hand behind your back if you put one of them on the bench for half the game. I just, I don't get it. If you want to play Larry 25 minutes, cool. But Jonas gotta play. He gotta play close to it as well, unless he's getting torched. Give Jonas a reason to be taken out of the game versus predicting, I don't think this is a good matchup, but this is what we're doing. Like, let the other team take him out of the game. You know what I'm saying? Let it be a Phoenix playoff situation where Chris Paul just say, 17 every time. Y'all gonna have to bring somebody else in. Let it be that.
I think also like today you saw Hawkins get some early run. He didn't have a great game, but it's his first time playing in a while. But I hope they don't abandon that because
I'm so glad.
Yeah, because I think I said on the last show, just because something doesn't work like immediately, it's still the right decision. Yeah. You've seen like not playing JV hasn't helped you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So in a matchup that's kind of catered to his strengths, catered to a guy like Hawkins' strengths, even I know we tired of hearing about Matt Ryan at this point, but it's catered to guys with like that strength, because in the event that Najee doesn't have it going from beyond the arc this night, Jose doesn't have it going from beyond the arc this night, who the fuck ever else don't got it going from beyond the arc this night, you still need shooting out there to best utilize Zion, best utilize JV to play inside out basketball. You have to counter the math equation against these good teams, because the Pelicans lose against good teams the same way every time.
Because, but Chaz, you bring up a good point. I'm gonna get to Jared and Lito here, because I thought that when Jordan Hawkins came in today, I was like, okay, defensively, I thought he competed. Like, go watch his 5-6 minutes. He competed. He boxed out. He went to get rebounds. He had one bad shot, but it's all about the space that you talk about. And I'm glad that you said that, because if he does hit a couple threes in that game, it's a difference maker. And like, I don't want them to abandon that, because when you get in a game against OKC or Boston or Milwaukee and he hits a couple threes, it changes the game.
To Chaz's point, think about like the first game they played OKC this year. And I thought that was like, that could have been their signature to how they were going to play the entire year. They were down big,
20,
right? 20. But yet they were shooting, like, I think Ross was like, Herb was shooting a ton of shots. He was like, fuck, I don't want Herb to ever shoot that much. And now my dog is totally
accountability.
But to that point, like, you need to shoot the ball against that team, because they're going to give you opportunities to do so. And if you can't, that the only way to create advantages, right? Was Zion out or Brandon out that game?
Brandon was out.
So similar thing is like, all right, play through JV, right? Allow the double team to happen, because they don't have anybody to guard them, because you don't have anybody to break down the defense. You really don't, to be honest. You don't have a guy that can just slip it through the lane and make two and then pass, swing, and shoot a three. You don't have that. The only way to do that on this team is really to dump it into Jonas, and then everybody play off of that movement. So hopefully this team can see, all right, this is the way we need to operate, and put the shooters out there. Not saying don't play Jose. I think Jose and Najee can knock down threes, but I think the matchup dictates, hey, we need shooting on the floor, and that's a premium.
Yeah. Chung, before we get to Lito's thoughts, it's about Duckhorn.
Sponsored.
And
Not yet.
right.
Hit us
Also,
up, Duckhorn.
also for make sure y'all smash that like button. Over 270 people in the room. Make sure I don't know where we're at in likes, since someone update me, but make sure you smash the like button. Helps out the channel. Go ahead, Lito.
Last year we had this conversation about Jonas, in the exact same conversation. This year we're still having the exact same conversation. We're having the exact same conversation about Jonas and not playing, not getting minutes, not being involved, inclusion, inclusivity. You talk about
DEI.
Yeah.
Inclusion.
When you
Equity.
when you talk with compassion, when you talk about when you talk about what the fuck just happened?
Go ahead, keep going.
When you talk,
it's the Duckhorn.
You know what Chris look like?
Who that?
He look like Trey Regis. I don't know if this dude.
I know
you
you.
know what I'm talking about?
Who the fuck is Trey Regis?
Your boy, man, Chris, the dude.
So I can know.
Video.
So I can know if he worth looking like me. Who that is?
The dude, the weird.
Huh?
Oh, that dude, funny dog. Chris, I sent you his video. No, why?
Huh? What?
I sent you the video of Trey, dog. That's
crazy. That's crazy.
That's crazy. You look like him, though.
That's nah. Because
I want to thank the Lord. I want to thank Coach Harbaugh. Fucking love you, man. Love the shit out of you, man.
That was me. That was me.
Is that the fourth pause of the night?
For me?
Yo,
No,
can we? But look though, can we say though? I mean, like this Jonas shit just ain't made up. It's like specifically against the Thunder, he had 19 in the first game that they played earlier in the year. He played 21 minutes. He had 14 in the second game they played. He had 20 minutes. Like, what the fuck would that look like if he played 25 or he played 30 minutes? Like, he's obviously doing something right, you know. Right. Now Larry played well in the first game, I believe, but you don't give it enough time to say Jonas is a problem. We know he can't guard Chet. We know that they're gonna swing the ball around and find a corner three, whether it be Dort or whether it be you know, Isaiah Joe or Williams or whoever. Like, but you're gonna have to live with something. And taking JV off the floor don't make sense to me, dog.
Look. You talk about him missing bunnies, right? You talk about him doing he's shooting 7 shots in a fucking NBA game. Maybe. Like, what you want me to do? He's not even breaking a sweat. Like, he ain't getting no cardio in the game, dog. Like, he going out there just to see his family, and he going right back to the bench. The other problem is, people say he slow feet. Who he gonna guard? He can't do this. He can't do that. Right? Listen, if you just gonna put that man in drop coverage, you asking for whatever that's gonna happen is gonna happen, because you're doing the same thing with Larry, and the same thing is happening when Larry gets in the game and he's playing drop coverage, right? So if you're not gonna make any adjustments, that's what you get. You get what you deserve. And listen, this is my last point on this. You say he can't guard anybody. You say he has slow feet. He can't jump over a sheet of paper. I just added that last one. He's a Basketball Index said he is a top 5. He is a top 5 defensive center in the NBA. What Larry is.
Hey, Lito, what did you played pickup basketball yesterday?
I did.
Where did your team go in their games? What was your record?
Man, we fucking suck. We trash.
What was your record though?
We probably was like 2-7.
And pick up basketball.
Crazy.
Let's hear from DraftKings Sportsbook. So what we're gonna do is
ain't had nothing to do with me. My jumper was falling.
There we go. Make sure you smash that like button. We'll do DraftKings and we're getting y'all's comments, questions. Let's hear from DraftKings. The NBA season is in full swing, and when I can't get enough of the action on the court, I spice things up by betting on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 instantly in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code BOOT. New customers can bet $5 to get $150 instantly in bonus bets. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code BOOT. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/promos for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
All right, let's get back to some comments and questions from fans. Ross, we'll start with you. From our appreciate you, brother, as always. Pro Pels Talk, you cannot allow your fellow podcasters to say such bad takes. Offense might get better. What the hell am I watching right now? I like y'all show, man, but y'all can't be losing credibility saying wild ass shit. Whoa. Ross, go ahead.
Man, see, this is why I stay off Twitter, because they'll just it's funny because we just played the Heat, and I always find myself laughing at that Eric Spoelstra post-game thing when he's like, somebody asks him a dumb question, and he like rubs his eyes and he says like, it's the untrained eye that says something like that to some reporter or whatever. That's how I feel about this. It's an untrained eye that can just be allowed to tweet anything, any nonsense that might pop into their head. Like, have you watched the last couple games? Are we getting open looks? Are we taking more threes? I mean, people think we just get up here and just say shit. I watched every game this team has played, or like 99% of the games this team has played for the last few years. Like, yes, there's a real situation where whenever you, and you know what pissed me off the most about the whole, about what we said, about what I said after whatever game it was that some moron clipped it up and made it seem like the comment
I already know that guy
was directed just at Brandon, and it wasn't. It was whether Zion's off the floor or Brandon's off the floor, and you put an extra shooter in around those guys, that the floor opens up and there's more opportunity for others. You get more open. And so it just, look, it's not rocket science. It's not taken away from any of the individual players, but you saw what Zion did tonight. Before we played the Heat,
historical night,
they hadn't given up. Before we played that game against the Heat, they hadn't given up more than 105 points in weeks, maybe a month. Go. I don't know how many, but it was, I mean, you're talking about like a bunch of basketball games. So, look, whatever. More success to you, even if you wish me the opposite.
I feel like you're saying KTSE.
KTSE.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I know. Yeah. KTSE. I'm going to keep the same energy.
Jarrett from Dallas Star, appreciate you. I like the PNR between Zion and Herb. Looks smooth, and Zion had the opportunity for the oop twice. It was actually, I think we kind of like 5 times, but go ahead.
Yeah. Putting Zion and Herb Jones, really good basketball players in action, makes sense. I mean, Dallas, I appreciate it, bro. Yeah. I think it's another layer of Herb Jones we can see, right? Like him and Zion, just anybody that's competent with the ball in their hands, and Zion just makes logical sense. That way you can shoot, pass, cut off of you definitely okay.
It's probably one of those.
Yeah, but yeah, man, like just having people that can dribble, pass, shoot, and make plays is helpful. Herb's a smart basketball player, so is Zion. So them two being in a 2-man game makes sense.
Wait, what did he say? Where should he?
It's probably
hold on. Time out. I've had enough. Time out. Hold on. Who this is? You got the name of a 70s author. You ain't wrote a book yet. Hold on. Because I don't even know what the fucking urban is. I'm tired of this shit. Y'all get me out of character. Hold on. You look like a fake weatherman. Ain't never been on TV. Get the fuck out of here.
Shout out to Jordan, man. He's a lawyer.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. What are you? Space African Jesus sound like a exploitation film from the 70s. Fuck out of here. I don't know who you is, but you was in my DM the other day trying to ask me something. Fuck out of here. Hold on.
Hobbs always here.
Well, he keep coming back, but he won't make jokes. He gonna be on the screen. Hold on, who this is?
Summer Gel.
No one. Corey, you my dog. Construction worker by day. Pro Pels Talk by night. Get the fuck out of here. Hold on. Who else we got out here? Damn. Who else? You ain't got a tie in this picture. Your friends need to do better. Hold on.
He called the ISO.
Fuck out of here.
What is the code?
Fuck you. Fuck you.
You're cool. Fuck you. I'm out.
All right. He from Birdsall. He from Jordan, your partner 5. He from Birdsall.
Nah, he from New Orleans.
All right. It don't matter then. All right.
Chaz
go ahead.
from Tanner. What happens first? Zion takes a 3 and Matt Ryan gets 9 garbage minutes.
I think he's taking probably like 23s on the season, maybe if that. I think you probably see Matt Ryan get some minutes if Najee doesn't have it going one night. I think you see some Matt Ryan minutes. It's a collective effort, I would think, at this point. Do I think it's the right decision not to play Matt? No, but I can understand it. You just play the guy who's got it go. I think the last few games, Najee's definitely earned the benefit of doubt. And I would say Jose as well, as far as you at least want to give those guys an opportunity, a full game opportunity to see how they respond to what's happening on the floor. So I would probably take the Zion 3-point attempt in that scenario.
Chris, what are your thoughts on this? Can the Pels keep Najee and Alvarado long term?
I mean, they could. I mean, not Najee.
How long is Jose here?
Najee gonna get a what? He keep
another
year?
He got a team option this offseason.
Look. I ain't to do with the numbers necessarily. You know what I mean, 100% and all that. But I will say they have enough salary cap questions coming up to where you got the bird rights of those two. So yeah, I mean you could end up keeping them long term. But look, if you Najee, like after me and Chaz did a show in the offseason by saying all he had to do was raise his 3-point percentage to 35%, I think. I mean, what he had like 38, 39, and he's playing
39.
But he's playing well beyond it, regardless if you think like, I think he has his limitations. But somebody gonna pay him. And he's unrestricted. So it ain't even about keeping him. Najee gonna decide where he goes. And if the Pelicans ain't offering him something substantial that's also gonna guarantee a role simply by the contract going forward, and you looking and you got Jordan Hawkins right here who's gonna demand more time next season. You got Dyson Daniels still on the roster. Like if you Najee and Washington, you get to go home and Washington say, all right, we'll give you $15 million a year. Why wouldn't you do that? So I don't know. I mean, I think Jose is a lot easier to keep long term. Najee's the question mark because he's unrestricted. He could do what he wants.
Yeah. Lito from Donald. Lito just said JV is your defensive MVP.
That's what you got from that, Donald. You know what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily saying that, but also I'm not going to talk negatively about my client either. So I mean, yeah, man, like let's roll with that. Let's get some shirts that say that JV is a defensive MVP.
And appreciate you, Donald. So appreciate the super chat. If we make conference finals, can we get a full panel in the blender post game?
They make conference finals. I'll be down.
Chaz, you'll be there.
Chaz,
you'll be there. You're stamping it right now. You will come to New Orleans if we make the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay.
It gotta be like the first few games though. If shit get ugly, I'm not.
Yeah, already.
We fucking 0-2. I'm like, nah.
I'm not gonna split on the road, and Chaz is gonna say, nah. That's
Wait, let's go back. This is a really. I'm really interested in a couple of y'all's thoughts here. But Ross, we'll start with you from Donald again. Once again, appreciate the super chat, Donald. Herb in the corner is actually a problem now.
Yeah, I totally. Herb wide open anywhere is a problem now. But
cue it up
on me.
I think.
I want to thank the Lord. I want to thank Coach Harbaugh. Fucking love you, man. Love this shit.
That's definitely a team bonus. Go ahead.
Yes, Herb Jones standing with no other players in his general vicinity.
Okay.
In the in the far in the corner of the right angle of the basketball court is generally a good thing at this point. No, look, he's shooting the basketball so well that yes, like you can. It's crazy to think what's happened over the last year, but like I truly think of him as a floor spacer now, like in certain situations where and Justin, I think you said it earlier in the show, and we've talked about it before. Like, teams are still going to leave him open, I think, in the playoffs, and you might lose with that strategy. Like, you might find yourself, because we've seen him hit 3 in a row in the first quarter. Now we've seen him hit 2 in a row in the first quarter. We've seen him take that strategy and make the other team say, get rid of that shit right away. I don't think you can just leave him open in the corner. Like, you're going to die. Like, that's.
I'm still do it though.
You still have to do
You're
it.
gonna die.
You're still gonna
die.
You're still
You're
gonna try
going
it.
to die.
You're still gonna try it, but you're gonna find yourself getting out of that strategy real quick. Yeah. Real quick.
I think even when we talked about this ad nauseum at times, like if he makes the first one, hey bro, it's up. Like no matter who comes in the game, and then no matter like who's playing, like the whole energy shifts when Herb makes one. Like,
I don't know if this is a fact, but like if he's really shooting 50% from the corners, that's insane.
He's still shooting 50% from the corner.
I would
shooting 50% from the corner.
At one point, yeah, he was.
Can someone look up that stat if y'all are in the chat? And like,
shooting 43% overall. Like
I know, but if you think like 50% is insane.
It is insane, but what's insane?
Got this whole
What's insane
Don't
is
worry
the fact
about
that
it.
we're
You'll
having a
see it next
conversation.
week.
What's insane is the fact that we're having a conversation that teams might leave our 43% shooter for the entire year just open. Like that might be the option. Like, yeah, just leave them.
But they might say that's fake, and it might be wrong. But I mean, I think there's some team out there that might get matched up against the Pelicans and say, "Yo, that's fake." You know what I'm saying? We gotta.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
He gonna have to be the one to he gonna have to make him. He gonna have to show me in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chaz.
If I'm the opposing team, if he's shooting 40%, I say I live with the 40% versus the guy shooting 65%. I don't believe it. If you beat me, I just deserve to lose at this point. Like, I think it was a couple games this season. Well, for me, if Herb scores double digits, I think he's more than earned his money every night, in my opinion. But if you're an opposing team and Herb's out there scoring fucking 18, 19 points, it's just, it just wasn't your night. It's time to pack it up and get up out of here.
Irony is, who has a better true shooting percentage this year?
Look it up between Herb and Zion.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I would imagine it would be Herb for the less attempts, right?
It's Herb.
Yeah, it's super efficient shots as far as like wide open three. To me, the thing that gives me so much confidence with Herb is him coming off of the screen or the curl on that left side and shooting that fucking jumper, no hesitation, all net. And I was like, yo, if he attempt 2 of them a game, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, this guy here, he's serious. So that's something to definitely keep an eye on.
My only issue with that is, are they going to continue to give Herb the ball in the court? Like, will they continue to go?
Zion will.
Yeah, that's not my issue.
Zion.
Again, that's not my issue.
I was just answering your. Zion.
Okay,
Just saying.
Yeah,
what's the issue?
Yeah, like when they run in like pick and roll,
Fuck
and like we've seen like OKC does this a lot, right? Where Shea, like if there's a high pick and roll and their low man is cheating, like it's just an automatic skip, like to the corner. We have yet to do that this season. We have yet to see that. And Herb is always in the corner. So my fear is, are they even going to look at it? Does it have to be a swing? Does it have to, like, hey, this is going to be left open. Like, we understand it. Like, just throw it. Don't run through any plays. Don't run through any actions. Just throw it. Like, do you have that freedom? Not to say that they don't, but are they actually even looking at that? That's my only issue.
What you look at me for?
I didn't even.
Chris, nice try, motherfucker.
What?
Nice try. You was like, who's the issue? And I was like, no.
Oh yeah. Justin ain't gonna put an address on it.
I mean, I wasn't trying to be controversial. I just wanted to know.
I ain't fucking doing this shit. I've already blocked. I blocked about 8. I don't block. I had enough, man. I blocked all of them. all the BI stands. I couldn't do it.
What I did you, dog? Why are you asking me why?
Because you called me out with the Chet Holmgren thing. I had a bad take on Chet Holmgren.
I didn't say anything.
But when you've just been side eyeing the whole night. Like you said to me that Jaden Daniels was a bad quarterback.
When you said it earlier,
you told me Jaden Daniels a bad quarterback. Okay, we have bad takes sometimes.
No. I told you I don't like LSU and I don't like their coach, so I didn't watch LSU.
So I don't have you in a text message saying that Jaden Daniels is a bad quarterback.
You gonna let me finish my thought?
What's your worst take, Justin, ever? What's your worst take?
Ooh,
you got a couple of them.
A couple. What is my worst take?
Yeah. It didn't even got to be on wax. It could be just via conversation with somebody. Everybody think about their worst take. I'll start with mine. Mine was back in like 2012. Somebody asked me who would I rather have, Serge Ibaka or Brook Lopez, and I definitively said Serge. Like I thought like the three was going to be really good, and boy was I wrong. Boy was I wrong.
I don't even know how bad.
I couldn't understand that.
Like in 2012, no one thought Brook Lopez was like going to transform.
Yeah, I was wrong. I had like my partner
justifiable.
My partner till this day brings up Brook Lopez like.
No, but Serge Ibaka should have been better. Like the fact that when he left OKC,
yeah,
I felt like the ceiling
fell off.
Was so high. Like it was like, man, because he just had to make one tiny little like adjustment. Maybe even it just might have been volume too. Like just shoot a couple more times. Anyway, that's not that bad.
Shit, he was 38 when he was drafted.
That's my worst
in African years.
Yeah, that might be the problem.
Motherfuckers grown, full grown adult when he was drafted.
I'm actually going to say, like, I want to, and y'all in the chat right now, if y'all watching, give us y'all's worst take. I'm trying to think of mine. I can't. I've had some bad ones. I've had some. I'm off to a bad start with Victor and Chet. I literally told Lito. I literally looked at him at the game. I was like, I turned. I said, this dude's gonna suck. I did.
I know mine.
I'm okay with Jabari. I'm still on my Jabari. Go ahead.
Mine was it was the top three in that draft were Paolo, Chet, and maybe Jabari Smith.
Jabari, yeah.
And I said I didn't think any of the three would be an all-star. I just didn't think Paolo. I was like, I kind of something about his game seemed a little like,
ooh, you thought
Derek
that?
Williams-ish for me.
Wait, you really think that?
Hold on,
there's the joint on the screen.
That's what I'm asking. You really think that?
I was a big T-Mac. I don't think I ever said those words exactly.
Come on, dog.
I was a big T-Mac.
Justin said T-Mac was better.
Bro, I was when T-Mac in the prime. T-Mac in his prime, he was fucking good.
I didn't believe in Paolo at all. I was a total. Just didn't think he'd be. I thought he'd be kind of a bust. To be honest.
Chris, what you got?
I think the easy one, like for this year, is probably me thinking Dyson was going to better 3-point percentage. but outside of Pelicans, I thought that the Nuggets was going to have to trade Jamal Murray to get Jokic to like a Western Conference, like win a Western Conference Finals, like to really meet that potential. I thought he was going to eventually be the problem, and the motherfucker won the chip, so can't say shit up.
Chaz.
I got two. I thought Brandon could be a version of Ben Simmons and Zion could be a version of Joel Embiid. That shit didn't work out at all. But the craziest one I had was probably I thought JV was a lot worse than what he's proven himself to be. So I really think JV has come a long way last year and this year. Ever since I adopted him last year, he really started, kind of figuring things out. And I feel like it's crazy because you may never even see the best version of him at this point because how he's utilized. But I thought JV was the worst motherfucker I ever seen. I thought JV was what's the tall, goofy motherfucker? Aaron Gray. I thought JV was I was like, get this guy. I was like, get this guy the fuck out of here. And his playoffs didn't help at all. His playoffs didn't help at all.
But, hey, what was Chris's guy from earlier this year? Aaron Gray had a lot of who's the other slow
Trey Jemison?
Trey
Aaron Gray had
the security guard.
Hey, and ironically, I think Aaron Gray might be running security for somebody somewhere because he damn sure ain't playing basketball.
I've had some bad shots.
I remember Aaron Gray twisted his ankle in the playoffs versus the Lakers, and we was like, "What we gonna do now?"
Yeah.
Hey, look, Naw turned his career around. Shout out to him. He's like a really productive. Like there were some really bad takes. So with Naw, when he was going to be like the starting shooting guard and average all this.
I don't think that's. Oh shit, I did. Fuck that. I still think he has like a ton of potential.
He does. He's turning around. He's really accepted his role there in Minnesota. And Finch, and to his credit, Finch was one of the guys that drafted him. He had 2 New Orleans solid potential.
I still think he got like another level to him. But hopefully,
I like Lonzo New Orleans. I liked him in New Orleans. I don't think anyone's like, I liked him.
I don't have like a specific reference to it off the top of my head, but my other one is that after that first like playoff series, after the play in, everything else, I thought Willie Green was the answer to all the problems. I really did. I thought Willie Green was next.
I wrote an article said the prodigal son. I thought he was. I thought he was it.
I did too.
He'll have a chance to prove himself here. He'll have a chance.
Yeah, but he will not. He's not like I thought this guy. I thought like he was a franchise altering coach.
Okay, Lito, are you still gonna stay quiet? You stay quiet the entire time.
He's been waiting on this.
I cut him off. That's my fault.
You called me emotional.
What's up?
You called me emotional.
What's up with
you? Called me emotional. I'm just saying. Talk a little bit. Talk a little shit tonight.
I got a couple of them. I got like you talking about like the longevity. Like I was watching basketball, bro.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't cut you off. Didi just got dropped in the chat.
Crazy.
Go ahead.
I thought Evan Turner was gonna be a star. Like I thought Evan Turner was gonna be fucking. I thought he was gonna be nice. I thought what's the dude name that went to Kansas the AD draft year?
Ben McLemore.
Ben.
No. It wasn't Ben. It was
Thomas Robinson.
Thomas fucking. I thought Thomas Robinson.
God.
Bro. I
have one. Justice Winslow from Duke.
Man, how draft?
Let Lito fit.
He's going. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lito.
We go say I'm quiet. Like
You're right. My bad.
My worst one. I'll give you my worst one. I thought Derek Carr was going to be good in the Saints.
And you know why I know that? You did a show saying that everyone should apologize to Derek Carr on YouTube. Make sure you go check that out. Lito the God.
It was week 2.
And you said the thumbnail was everyone should apologize to Derek Carr.
Yeah, because you know why? I'm from Uptown, right? So if you with me, if you with me, like you with me.
Yeah.
Until you're not with me no more. It's fuck you now. Like you not nah. Like
you might as well just give him his five seconds. Yeah,
you know my last dog. I really thought Drew Holiday was dead nice as a Pelican. I was like, fuck that. Drew Holiday about to take the next step. Now he has permission to dominate. He's gonna be incredible. Man, Drew Holiday was so fucking awful that Drew Holiday ruined how I look at him now. I was like, yo, oh my God. But Drew Holiday, a good man, though. Shout out to Drew Holiday. Shout out to the Holiday family. They do a lot for the community. Yeah. I'm glad, he went and figured it out somewhere else, got his chip. But boy,
I can't agree with you, Chaz, dog. It's still
that permission to dominate
that wasn't his, that's not his fault, bro.
It's not his fault.
Like
I do have one I have never said, Jared, until today. It's baseball, but I thought it was the right move at the time.
Wow.
To move Mookie Betts.
Wow.
I thought it was the right time.
Wow.
Boy.
And boy, have I just he's like,
wow.
I mean, he was still my favorite player. I thought I was like, I don't know if he's worth this contract. Now I'm seeing this dude play right field, second base, shortstop, center field, left field.
This motherfucker playing everything.
He fucking is. And he is one of the he is the best player I think in Major League Baseball.
Man, the Red Sox did that, and they traded Babe Ruth for Cody Zeller. Shit,
that's crazy.
Somebody DM me, man. I'm ask y'all one question. Would y'all, let's say Memphis was like, yo, Ja's on the table. Would y'all shout out to my boy Silver? Would y'all trade for Ja if Ja was available?
What?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, like, would we trade? Like, would we? I thought that was going to be like a draft pick thing. Like,
no. It's like Ja Morant's available. You don't know how he going to act. You don't know what's going on with him. You just know he's available. Somebody posed this question to me, and I'm posting to y'all. Would y'all trade?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. We all like, yeah.
The more appropriate question is,
well, who?
No, I think who would you rather have is Ja or Jaren Jackson Jr.? Which one would you rather have?
Also, an easy answer for me, Jaren Jackson Jr.
All right, but
wow.
The
only reason I say Ja is because I always take the player who got a slight possible chance to be the best player in the NBA or in the series. More consistency wise, I'm taking Triple J. But Ja fucking incredible. When he focused and doing this thing, that's a bad dude, bro. Like that's a bad dude.
With our current roster, I truly don't know if there's a player in the entire NBA. I mean, other than like a true superstar, right? Like other than one of the top handful of players, I don't know if I could like hand select a player that I think would fit better with our roster than Jaren Jackson. Like I mean, there might be, but I'd have to think about it.
But see, Ross, this like when you drafting and you faced with taking, the player for need in that moment, or you taking the best available. That's really like to me how I look at it. And I mean, I'd always go the best available. So if that's Ja, like you figure out the other shit afterwards and how to end up completing the team. You know what I mean? Because that. I say I don't even want to think about it because all it's gonna do is piss me off. So I don't even want to think about it. It's not even. It's job. It's job.
I mean, we're an hour and a half in. I don't know if y'all.
Yeah, they did not feel like an hour and a half.
It's been fun. Appreciate y'all in the chat, man. Make sure y'all smash that like button. We play Tuesday. Y'all got anything else you want to go home?
Playoff game Tuesday.
Lito got some fresh kicks on. Y'all can't see too.
Oh man, appreciate you.
Kristen mentioned condoms tonight, that was probably
that's
and then he froze. Like,
and then he repeated it.
Yeah, protection, though. Yeah. Y'all don't support protection. I'm sorry, man.
Based on my track record, no.
X, you're right. X.
Child.
All right, X. So it's a good time. 5 seconds with Lito. Go ahead.
5 seconds with Lito. Hey, you need credit?
Let him have
credit. $25. We the special men. Hey, look, check this out. BootCreamMedia.com, buy a shirt. Man, shout out to everybody who up here. Like, for real, shout out to y'all in the chat. Shout out to everybody got something going on. Shout out to Justin. Shout out to Ross. Bob writing the articles. He had the games. Chaz is doing podcasts. He doing great shit. Chris is, like, making incredible content. He writing shit. Like, shout out to us, man. We doing it.
Smash that like button. Appreciate it.